What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 21 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Kroq-Gar campaign. So as we saw last time, Tic-Tac-Toe brought his frickin' A-game, attacking Ogrul Migdal and the 3.5 stacks that Cetra the Imperishable had there. He destroyed them to the point that his riders all ran out of ammunition, and that's with their ammunition buffed to about double by the looks of it. Maybe not quite, but yeah, all of them ran out of ammunition, and Tic-Tac and his Spirit of Tepok had to do a lot of melee work as well. It was a glorious battle and a pretty fitting end for Cetra, who I don't believe we'll be seeing again. Still, Cetra will always have the coolest death in the entire franchise, at least the Warhammer Fantasy Battle franchise, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see what they can do with the old world again. But anyway, what we have to do this time, while we do have to destroy Khemri, that's not really as important. An interesting opportunity has presented itself to us with Queek Headtaker here, and if we handle this carefully, we might be able to get a lot out of it. Namely, I was going to originally not summon the Slan for a while, but things have changed. We're going to summon Hydroxyanthropurin. I'm gonna call you Roxy. Roxy here, recruit, is going to join now. Here's my reasoning. If Queek Headtaker, if we can manage to kill him, he's clearly headed for Misty Mountain, right? And Roxy can attack, or can probably defend against this little half stack, though it is very likely that we're gonna get hit with a stack and a half from Queek at Misty Mountain. If we can manage to beat him, destroy his army but not kill Queek, this would allow next turn for us to move and attack him with Hydroxy. This of course means that we have to allow him to siege and not attack him himself, which also means we need to recruit just enough for him not to be afraid of sieging, but not so little that we lose. I don't know if I can manage to make this happen, but it's the dream. So, one problem is we don't know what the heck is in his stack, but we can see he has 5 regiments of renown, which is already fairly scary. What do we have in the garrison here? Okay, wait, this is gonna take some thinking, guys. Sorry, but I'm gonna deliberate on this. So Misty Mountain, the garrison isn't horrible. I mean, it's got a bunch of basic skinks and garbage, but that's fine. We want him to be lulled into a false sense of security. Let's go 50-50. Let's take 2 out of 4. The cheapest ones, mostly because I didn't want to spend the money right now. And you know what? The Emerald Tide is fine here because we can give it to Roxy. Yeah, like this. I think that's as much as we want to build. Plus 5 units means 5 units to heal for the revivification crystal, if it counts itself. Plus the garrison. Queek has a stack and a half. I think he'll still try this. Alright, here's hoping. That said, we probably want to give you items as well, but you know what, let's do this after we complete everything else. Alright, so first of all, Tic-Tac and Kanos Kier. We need you to attack Numas. I guess Kanos Kier, you're gonna head to Numas directly now. And then Tic-Tac, you're gonna come here as well. The reason we want Tic-Tac down here, and let's encircle this, please. The reason we want Tic-Tac down here... Oh, this is an attrition territory everywhere? I don't like that. Okay, well, one of them is gonna have to take attrition then, and it'll probably have to be Kanos Kier, unless... Wait, what's the max range of Tic-Tac? Let's see, 50%... I wonder... What about going, like, here? Is he still in range? So, we need to get the flyers to him, which are carried by the other Kowal right now, the temporary Kowal. You are gonna go right here, roughly, to transfer this stuff. We can transfer the dinos to the other guys afterwards. Then, man, look at our money. Then, are you in range, Tic-Tac? Yes. Can you go into encamp stance? Yes, you can. Beautiful. Then we're gonna hopefully... Let's see what we got here. Can we auto-resolve this? They have no chance. Is there any point to fighting this? Oh, wow, it's going to kill our Colossadon hunters. Okay, we're gonna have to manually fight this. Alright, fine. We'll do that in a second. Let's prepare everything. I'm very excited about the Queek thing, if we can manage to make it happen. Mostly because we spent so much trying to hunt him down with Kroq-Gar there. So you are going to go into Battle March as well. And we're going to move Koal in to help you. Alright, Pyrrhic Victory as well. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do this real quick. And you know what? Give him back his Chameleon Skinks. It's the name, damn it. You can take the skirmishers back. We'll find a place for them, I'm sure, at some point. You can go into Battle March briefly now. What do we have here? Also enemies, and can we do this? Okay, we'll do this one auto-resolve since the other one we have to manually fight. Auto-resolve this, please, like so. And Qatar Falls, like so. We got some more alignments as well, and we're going to occupy it, obviously. And there we go, Opal Amulet for you. Koal, you can stay here, and oh, you're not suffering attrition anymore, at least not here. Go into Channeling Stance and start moving up this way. You're gonna need to trade troops anyway. Alright, beautiful. Everybody here is where they're supposed to be, with the possible exception of you, Farak, but you're gonna move north and transfer even more stuff. Oh, but that's hardly surprising at this point. Now, we can probably do some building, but let's do this fight, I think. Do we need to do this cinematically? Honestly, it's not going to be very tough, but it really depends on how long we want to wait for Tic Tac to move in with his Air Force, and whether the enemy actually waits for them or not, or just directly charges us. There does seem to be fairly decent likelihood of an artillery exchange as well. Yeah, let's fight it, why not? Why not? And the Queek battle is the big battle, but I think we can fight too. Alright, here we go again. Let's see what we can do. I don't imagine that we need to be too aggressive in this particular situation. Tic-Tac-Toe is coming in as a reinforcement after all, so what we can do is just bombard the enemy with our Beam of Chotek and our 2 units of Grudge Throwers. And do as much damage as we can and knock down the enemy towers before the aerial units come in so that they don't have to do that for us. Should be a decent combination in between the two, and then with the enemy having limited defenses against the air forces, we can have Tic-Tac-Toe just wreck the settlement without suffering too many casualties. Why take casualties? First of the enemy towers is going to go down. We're going to switch to Grudge Throwers and the Solar Engine, and I guess the Amexon Barb as well, towards the enemy tower. Any second now. And there we go. And while that is happening, the rest of our units are going to move in. I am, however, going to speed it up a little bit, because frankly, this bombardment isn't all that interesting. Though, ooh, nice shot from the Solar Engine, though. Does a decent amount of damage to the Skeleton Archers. And the same thing goes for the Grudge Throwers as well. Well done to all of you. Alright, and now Tic-Tac-Toe's on the field. We're also going to put Tic-Tac-Toe and his Skink Priest right over the Bastillodon, the Solar End, or with Revivification Crystal. That is going to heal these guys up. They are single entities, so unlike the rest of our units that start off with a healing cap, we can heal them to full, essentially for free. So they can just sit here healing while the rest of our units take out the enemies inside the settlement. Now, that said, while the enemy doesn't have a lot of aerial defenses, they do have some that are going to be somewhat concerning, namely 2 units of Sepulchral Stalkers. I would be curious to see how effective they are against our flyers. Oh, look at that, coming over the pyramid, very nice. That's a very nice shot. Alrighty, and we've found the enemy Sepulchral Stalkers. Let's see how quickly we can knock them down, and let's see how much damage they can do to us in reprisal. Alright, they're not firing a sky chain. As soon as I say they're not firing yet, they're just like, shut up and start firing. Alrighty, well, they're firing, but so are we, and it looks like the first of the Necro Serpents are being dropped. They've done, let's see, 2 volleys and taken some decent amounts of HP. Huh, actually I'd say about equivalent to what a unit of Ushabti with Great Bow would have done. Fairly impressive. considering these things are generally quite good at using their special ability against infantry, but it looks like they're just fine against units like this. Good job to their shotguns. That said, they're melting away now, completely surrounded by aerial units that are javelining them, and it looks like the first unit is going to be crumbling apart as well. Now we're going to switch to the second, hopefully once again before it does too much further damage, I should say. And we're using the Fire Leech Bolas to help here as well. They're not going to do a lot of damage to these guys, but we need to combine as much damage as possible at the same time. Highest alpha we can get is using all the units. And obviously don't want these guys firing on us, and once they're done, then there will be no true threat remaining. Alrighty, and we are just flying overhead and just rearranging our units slightly so that the enemy doesn't know in which direction to fire. It's often quite beneficial to get your aerial units right above the enemy and then just reposition yourself, because sometimes, especially depending on the unit, the enemy has a difficult time reacquiring the target because it has to turn the entire unit around first. Anyway, with the death of the Sepulchral Stalkers, the rest of the enemy units are melee only, and then we can just knock them out over time. I guess there was one Skeleton Archer unit remaining, but, well, it's about to be dead as well if you guys would shoot them instead of the nothing. Thank you. Oh, I like the effects of the Fire Leech Bolas lighting everything up. Now, there's still a few units that we probably do want to focus, namely the Ushabti and the Nehekar Horsemen. If it wasn't for those two reasonably fast units, I would have moved the Chameleon Skinks in to try to help out. I also want to point out that while all this has been happening, Tic Tac and the Spirit and the Skink Priest have all gotten to pretty much full HP. Lovely. You gotta love those Reviv crystals. They're gonna be very, very useful. And if we build all Dino armies, and we'll probably have at least a few all Dino stacks, between the Mage of Life, or the Slan Priest of Life, and the Reviv crystals, they'll basically always be at full HP, as long as they don't die. Which is quite nice. Alrighty, last of these Ushabti gonna get knocked out. Oh, I like the way they look with Cetra's color scheme. Now, they're a lot more, they're a lot more colorful than I thought they would be. I love it. I gotta take another look at the Ushabti on Arcan's team. I feel like they don't look as good. These guys almost feel like they might fit in with the Lizardmen as well. Well, regardless, not for long, because they're going to be shot down or crumble apart either way. As long as you guys stop missing for 2 seconds, come on now. Lead your targets. Trying to wait for the death animation of these guys. Oh, I guess technically they're not alive, and never were alive. The souls possessing them were once alive, but it's a stretch. Alright, well, regardless, they'll crumble apart and we've got something else to target. In fact, there's still an enemy Tomb Prince running around their main unit, which we will knock down with a spear spam. This must be so irritating. And they can't do anything, and on top of that, our units just surround them so they can't really use the shield to block stuff. Alright, well, regardless, the battle is pretty much over. There's a few more units to knock down, but frankly, the rest of this is done. There we go, the chain route is here, and the battle is ours. Mostly I wanted to see the Sepulchral Stalkers, but otherwise the battle was quite easy with Tic Tac's army, and we've got another much, much more important battle to look towards. Alright, 0 losses, easy enough, but, well, it's Tic Tac and his capabilities, well, with his air force, so it worked about as expected. We will occupy the place, obviously, and let's see what this faction has left now. Ooh, we got Eitzel's Gilded Ring from that. Oh, yes, the Summon Feral Cold Ones ability, you know what? That may come in handy in the battle we're about to fight. Hit points plus 15% as well. I wonder who this will go on later on, but for now, we have what we have. So yeah, that's win 6 battles. Also, interlopers have been spotted encroaching on our beasts' sacred hunting grounds. They must be taught the error of their ways. Well, they have been. At least some of them have. Also, before I forget, let's build up the marble here. Gotta get that reduction in construction cost, and then further reduction via the alignment to monuments. Numas, you have the Skink Chief building, but I don't think we need to or can build any Skink Chiefs here, at least not for a few more turns, so we'll delete this and we'll replace it with other stuff. Khemri is going to be a cash cow province, then we might as well start collecting cash here as well. And yeah, any territory with 4 settlements is going to have to be a economy-focused territory. Now, the rest of you are looking good, so we are done here. Now let's see what else we have. We have to end the turn so that Isoko Rismate can fight. We are going to give him items first, though. Oh yes, Grokox and Gila. You guys have to move. You might be able to find Xhotl now. Let's find out. Let's say here first. We don't want to get too close. We want to just identify them and then move away before we accidentally discover Kairos. There's Cincian corruption here, but it is dropping. Okay, I don't see factions discovered. A little bit closer. Is that it? Yes, faction discovered, Ghost of Pahwaks. Good. I was a little bit nervous. Alrighty. I don't see Karos there. Ghost of Pahwaks. Ooh, wow, they have no armies in one settlement. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Alright, well, let's get as friendly with them as we can and hope that that makes them want to confederate. In fact, let's take a look at minus 49. Oh no, Xhotl, don't die, man. I love you.
On the hunt.
You can't just die like that. Let's see, anything else here? While we're here, I do not see anything worth our time. Wargrove of Woe. They like us as well, but they're fighting Ostermark and the Ice Court. And we don't necessarily want to fight those. I'll think about it, we'll see. You are now going to go fight, or find, not fight Nakai. Although Nakai is probably doing a lot of fighting. Gila, you are going this way to find us a Mazdamundi. Alright, and I believe that's it with those guys. 2 more things to do. First, to give items to Isoko Rismate, but no more units. And we're going to start with the new item that we got just now, I think, Itzel's Gilded Ring, because why not? Then, what else can we give you? Ore of Quetzal is free. Let's see, Crown of Command is kind of useless on Kroq-Gar, but I can keep it for now. Also, I guess he's busy. Sword of Anti-Heroes is free as well, and then basic armor. Do we have any armor? You know what? We're probably gonna give the Wounded Hide armor back to Pradat shortly, but for now we'll give it to you, especially since Chameleon here is probably not going to be fighting anything for like another 10 turns or something along those lines. He will have to either go this way or go this way. We'll have to figure all that out. I wonder if we want to send Tic-Tac-Toe up north to try to get the Verminflail trade. Oh, Queeky. Alright, why you gotta be so useful? Ancillaries. Do we have any useful ancillaries? Most of the banners are used up, but, you know, once again, we don't know what's in this army. You know what, just in case, we're gonna give you some good banners off of everybody. Let's see... We don't really need the Wailing banner. Razor Standard wouldn't really be very good on these guys, although it might make you more melee-oriented. Nah, it's fine. Nah. Maybe not every banner. Let's see what else we can give him. You know what? Sun Standard of Chotek. I like it. Just for a turn or 5 or until Kroki actually needs it. He probably won't need it for a while either. Banner of Eternal Flame, obviously, because that's going to be transferred to the Slan, and we'll be transferring that together with the Umbral Tide. Then... you can have a Standard of Discipline. Honestly, neither of these guys really needs it, and it's kind of a terrible standard in the first place. We might as well make room for them for better stuff. And is there anything else we want to give you? I mean, I guess we could give you a Gleaming Pennant as well, just because we can. Kroq-Gar has a Gleaming Pennant. Well, I guess it is on a pile of infantry, though. We'll probably take that away from him as well. Let's take it from Kroq. I don't think he needs it. Also, does not suffer a penalty when Lord dies. I don't think that's going to happen in either case, but most of these banners don't need to be where they are, so we might as well give them to you. Oh, rat spawn sacrifice. Yes, that could be useful. Alrighty, well, that's as good as it's going to get. Let's also give you a point, which is going to be Inspiring Presence. Just lots and lots of leadership buffs. There we go. And I hope that that is enough, but not too much. That's the goal here. Now, what we also want to do is build a few buildings before we end the turn, and see whether this worked out for us. Resetra, 1800, okay, that's a little bit much. Kingdom of the Beasts, we do want you, but not right now because you're too much money. You, Gem Cutter's Workshop, are going to be worth our time. Let's build the Kroq-Gar Labor District here, but I'm not going to build anything else, just in case we lose the place. Who knows? It really depends on what else is in that army. Livestock pens and Kasabar. I forget, did we build the... Yes, we did build the... Gotta get those Razordons and Salamanders. I guess we also have to figure out what else we're going to build here. I was originally gonna go for the floating gardens, and that may still be quite worthwhile, especially considering it also increases income of adjacent territories. Fine. Not walls for now, I guess. Deaf Gorge. I'm still on the fence as to whether we keep you or not, but maybe for now. And if we are keeping you, we'll probably want an Old One Monument here as well. Alright, fine. Old One Monument it is. And then I believe that's pretty much all we can do. Terror of Gorgoth will repair itself and we don't really have any more money. You are recruiting, and I believe that means we're ready to end the turn and see if this whole thing worked. Alright, skip, building upgrade available, skip, damage building, skip. End turn. Alright, Queek. Don't be afraid of Ahsoka. I'm pretty sure he can't reach Krad-Tommen. Though maybe Staden can, I don't know. Alright, a moment of... She's going to siege. Okay, that I was not expecting. I was expecting him to straight up attack, not siege, but okay. The heck is this? Really? Okay. Okay, screw the garrison. Free alignment, and... Oh, he lives? Khemri is not destroyed? Sure. We'll get a little bit more XP from that, I guess. More importantly, if Queek is sieging... Okay, he's trying to cause us attrition, which is somewhat irritating, but I guess it really depends on whether he will fight now or not. Let's hope that he will. And, oh! He's sieging without his second half stack, with his stack alone. Oh, he must be... must not be as afraid. You really should be able to see everything that's in the stack, though. It's kind of annoying that he can't. But Kroq has Grievous. Yeah, that's great for Kroq. Alright, moment of truth. Will this work? Come on. Alright, he's gonna fight. What are we facing off against here? 6 regiments of renown. So basically, we have several major threats. All the regiment of renown, so 6 good units, whereas we have 4 good units plus 5 good units. Yeah, fair enough. Plus Queek, but we have our own lord to rely upon. And yeah, so these two. And these two are the big threats. And the Council Guard are actually pretty darn good as well. They're unbreakable, and they have Guardians, so they'll be buffing up Queek, they'll be buffing up him pretty considerably, and preventing us from doing additional damage. But yeah, really it's the Jezzails, which are incredibly scary units, and the Rattling Guns can easily take down a Dino extraordinarily quick. But we shall see. Now, banners. Who can we not afford to rout? That'll have to be you. And the Reviv Crystal. We need that active at all times. Then we probably want the Sun Standard of Chotek on the Steg, because it's more likely to get focused by range. This guy's least likely to get focused by anything. This versus this. You know what, you're probably likely to rout. No, you're both likely to rout. Wait, no, this gives discipline to area, so let's do that. And then put the Fire Banner on you. Ideally, we'll be keeping everybody here near to each other. Alright, well, that's it. Valiant defeat, according to this. And we do have to try to do this carefully. Essentially, once again, kill the army, don't kill Queek. Although not killing something is generally reasonably easy, or at least you would think it would be. Plus we have the Summon of the Feral Cold Ones, which are going to be helpful. We have 3 uses of it, yes? Yes. I wonder if we're able to use it immediately at the start of the battle. Would be great if we could use it on these guys. Alright, well, here we go. Very, very important fight. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can do this. The first thing, the most important thing is to kill everything but Queek, presuming that we can win. And ooh, the cohort of Xhotl look pretty fantastic as well. Oh, you gotta love lizard units. You get pets. Just you though. Everybody else gets pets after the battle. So you have something to look forward to. Alrighty, let's get to it. We are going to obviously do a little bit of a Death Star with these units. We have all of these standards that are in an aura, so everything around them should be affected. Now we are going to also move up our Umbral Tide. They do very, very slightly outrange the Teeth Breakers rattling guns. So we're going to get our first shots off, and look at those fireworks go on them. Ah, you gotta love the Salamander units. They're just so fun. Can't wait to get more, and we will be building more shortly. And there we go. It is hitting quite a lot of enemy rats, but it's the rattling guns that we care about. We've also summoned our cold ones via our special ability, or our item now, and they're going to go after the Jezzails as well. Even if they don't kill them, they just need to tie them up for at least a few seconds. These salamanders doing a pretty great job knocking those rattling guns out from a distance that the rattling guns can't fire upon, and they're also getting support from our 2 units of spear-chucking pterodon riders. Alright, very, very nice. Man, the Umbral Tide is doing fantastic. 152 kills and 20,000 damage in the first minute and the first few opening salvos. Though I gotta point out that their ammunition is extremely limited. I wonder if there are ammunition buffs that these guys can get. I suppose they could function... Oh, they have perfect vigor as well. I suppose they could function in melee afterwards, but they are probably quite fragile. Yeah, 6.5k HP for an SFO unit. Very, very fragile. And nonetheless, they're doing fantastic so far. The rest of our army is engaged, as we can see. We have our units of skirmishers and chameleon skinks on the flanks, and each one of their job is going to be to distract, annoy, and kite all the enemy clan rats and storm vermin and whatever it is that they can find. Otherwise, the Death Star, the Dino Death Star, is heading forward. Their goal will be to head right in the middle of the enemy formation, and though it looks like they'll be stopping by and killing the rat ogres first, which is perfectly fine. Nice charge from the Steg, and it looks like the first charge did knock out one of the rat ogres. Rat ogres are fairly fragile though, so it's hardly surprising. And they're all in it now. Oh, rat ogres are pretty darn big. I thought that the Kroq-Gars would be considerably bigger than them. Although somehow I feel like Kroq-Gars are probably considerably stronger than rat ogres are. I just have a feeling. Also, I feel like they could bite their faces off, which is obviously a plus. Anyway, let's see how we're doing here. Queek is in it now, and the rest of the enemy army has surrounded our Death Star of dinos here, but all of them will be supporting each other, so it's going to make it fairly difficult for the enemy. The rest of the enemy army that has not surrounded them has run in and is going to go after our skink cohorts, which has forced our Umbral Tide to back off and reposition themselves so that they can get another firing angle. Over on the flanks, we still have our chameleon skinks and skirmishers all fighting, trying to go after enemy units or kite them around, preventing them from joining the rest of the fray, but also preventing them from doing any damage, as they just can't catch us. Our pterodon riders are going to continue to focus down the Jezzails, specifically until they are completely destroyed. Granted, they are no longer in the fight. Ooh, yes. More fireworks, please, Umbral Tide. The Jezzails can no longer fight, however. We want them all dead, because if we manage to do what I want to do here, which is to kill everything but Queek and then allow Queek to escape, we will maybe be able to auto-resolve Queek again to get another Verminflail, if in fact he moves into the right direction when he escapes, and if in fact we can reach him with the slam. I am not sure of either thing, but first things first, we gotta win here. Umbral Tide continuing to do a great job at knocking rats out, and it looks like our Death Star is doing pretty well as well. The bounce power is in fact in our favor, and we summoned a second unit of feral cold ones who have Overwhelm on them. Huh. Wait, where's the Overwhelm from? Does Icket have who has Overwhelm? Ix's Triads have Overwhelm. No, interesting. Wow, that's a very strong debuff. We'll have to be careful about that, and damn, they're probably going to be applying it to quite a few of our units. Oh, and somebody's applying weakness to fire to one of our units as well. Well, not to worry. The enemy will be tasting a lot of weakness to fire themselves. Probably the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. Too bad there's no Clan Vulcan. Not enough fire-themed rats. Alright, though we will be getting our fire-themed army as soon as we possibly can. At this point, since the Slan has been summoned, since we've paid an insane amount of money to unlock the Slan and have put him on the field, we may as well build his army out. And we'll probably be using, and the comments have suggested, seems there's a consensus that the Iron Drake / Fire Drakes are probably the better or cooler pick than 2 and 2 with the Brimstone guns, which is perfectly fine, so that's what we'll be doing. And if I've learned anything from my own Ikit campaign lately, it's that you can use flamethrower units as mainline infantry. Mostly because as the enemy mainline infantry moves up to them, they get destroyed by the fire, and then very few of them actually make it. Alrighty, well, I hear a lot of rats yelling retreat. The balance of power is about 75, I want to say, % in our favor. Queek is still doing fairly decently, though, and is in fact badly hurt our Bastiladon with the Reviv Crystal, who we're probably going to have to back off, but otherwise the rest of the units are all pretty much fine. The flanks all seem to have been victorious. There's really not much left in terms of the units left on the flanks. The Rat Ogres are still alive, but there really isn't much of anything left. The Umbral Tide has also pretty much run out of ammunition, but have gotten nearly 600 kills and 60,000 damage. Kind of interesting how their damage dealt is almost exactly the same as the number of kills they've gotten. Does each rat have exactly 1000 HP? I wonder. Man, and also these cold ones have been really quite helpful. First by stopping that enemy Jezzail unit from really doing anything, and then afterwards the summons on top of the enemies. Here's another summon, speak of the devil. Speak of the devils of Lustria. And there we go. Trapping more enemy units, and we should be able to knock the rest out in a few seconds. I do believe the battle is ours. Let's see, bounce power about 80% in our favor now. Queek's at half HP though, so we'll need to switch targets soon. The rest of our units are all just running around in the background, both the skirmishers and the chameleon skinks, chasing any enemy units that are still running in order to try to destroy them for good. We also have to destroy the Council Guard, the white-furred storm vermin. We have to destroy them to a vermin because they are unbreakable, so they will continue to fight. Though by the looks of it, not much longer, as they are down to 31 units and very little HP. Queek is going to rush away as well, below half HP himself, and we're gonna let him run. And just ignore him by and large, while we go after the Council Guard. Man, AI summoning all those Regiments of Renown in a single army. Really nice to be using the cold ones. If the cold ones didn't have primal instincts, I'd probably use them more in armies. But the fact that they always rampage makes them not quite as useful. I have the same problem with saber tusks. Good units, both of them. Saber tusks are very good, in fact. But as soon as they rout, they just go and get themselves killed. And it's quite annoying, especially if you're using them for the same purpose as if you would use wolf rats or dire wolves, or, well, any of all the other units, flesh hounds, etc, etc, etc. Well, flesh hounds are slightly a somewhat special case compared to those, but yeah. Warhounds and all that. Anyway, Council Guards still have a few units remaining, so I guess we'll watch them die, but the battle is ours. And it looks like we managed to pull it off. We'll allow Queek to escape. The rest of the enemy army has been pretty much destroyed, though I think one of the Rat Ogre units did manage to escape. Just the one, though. I'm not sure if one is sufficient for the unit to survive. I guess we'll see. That said, most of the enemy army is gone. And those units that are fighting to the death will obviously be gone as well. Hey, you got back up. Not for long, though, as he loses his head and... no, just his head to one of the cold ones. It's also nice to see the cold ones on the field, finally. And I mean the feral ones, not just the, not the riders and whatnot. Anyway, with that, the battle ends. We'll have a few more seconds of chasing enemy units around as best we can. But there we go. A heroic victory for us, but the enemy was probably always going to have a very difficult time at killing the Death Star, at the very least, especially with the Reviv crystal healing the single entities to a point that the rats probably had a very difficult time taking them out. Though that said, and there were still a lot of regiments of renown, so they could have always been threatening. One cheese, blessed totem, charge bonus plus 25. Something. That's something. Alrighty. Well, that did seem to work out reasonably well. We killed all of their regiments of renown, we allowed Queek to live, and the escapes were minimal. We also got some decent alignments, some treasury and stuff, and frankly, we barely suffered any damage. Mostly to the Reviv crystal, which in fact does not heal itself. For those curious, 703 kills and 63k damage on the Umbral Tide, though. Very, very nice. And 20k damage on the cohort of Xhotl, and very respectable as well. Lovely. Alright, so that worked out decently. We are now going to go for Ritual Purification, and assuming that Queek will move away, well, let's hope he doesn't move so far that we can't reach him. Alright, he's gonna move right there. There we go, VERMINFLAIL. And Soko has it now. Charge bonus for Soko, yeah. You, Roxy, you are able to reach, yes, amazing, frickin' amazing, double VERMINFLAIL. Oh, I am very happy. Alrighty, let's get you here. Then, do we need to apply any points to you? Well, we don't know what kind of army you'll have, but we do know that you're a perfect spawn with VERMINFLAIL. These are like the two ideal things that we want on every source, and really every lord, but yeah. We could just go through Ancient Cunning like we do with the rest, just to get Geomantic Sustenance before we decide what to build you out as. Let's do that. Ancient Cunning it is. Then, Roxy, you are going to grab Queek's Defeat trait. Like so. And I assume we can auto-resolve this. You better not screw us on this auto-resolve. Okay, that did way too much damage. Oh, wow, another 10 alignments. Damn. The alignment farming is going well, at least. And another standard of discipline. And very, very nice. And hey, we got the other thing completed as well. Weapon strength plus 10% for cold one units. And the Feral Call ability. Recharges if out of melee, affects allies in range all at 75 range. It's a fairly decent buff, and if it recharges when out of melee, this is a pretty perfect thing to have on a flying Teto Echo. I mean, a flying mage, but specifically on Teto Echo, assuming that he doesn't have anything else. We're gonna figure that out, but yeah, nice, very nice. And there we go, double VERMINFLAIL. Amazing. War coordination target lost? Oh no. Whatever will we do? Show Itzel how his children hunt and fight alongside his beasts, and perhaps a holy boon will be granted. Granted it was. Are you able to reach this stack? No, you are not. That would have been lovely, but alas. Now, I take it these guys can't march past our armies. You're gonna go into an encamp stance. Ooh. I'm somewhat concerned, though. What if they... Wait. What if they ambush Roxy? I guess he could try to escape. Wait, you're close enough if the ambush fails, but you're not in encamp stance yourself, which I'm not a big fan of. Honestly, you shouldn't be, it should be pretty much physically impossible to ambush a Slan in the first place, but yeah. I just wonder whether they can actually reach you from here or not. Technically we have a zone of control, but they might be able to go past it. Hard to say. Well, we shall see what they do. It would be so unfortunate to lose Roxy like this immediately. And... oh, wait. Slan are immediately immortal. Well, then, there's nothing. Yeah, they can do nothing. Everything is fine. We are good. Man, that worked out. That worked out very well. And I am still riding that high. Now I don't know what to do. Okay, Kroq-Gar, let's get you moving, shall we? So you no longer need Kroq-Gar Mountain. Let's send you in march stance up north towards World's Edge, but not in a place where you suffer attrition, like so. We will trade Mount Silverspear away. We could also probably delete the spawn pools here and replace them with a money building. Though it'll take like 3 turns. I don't think I care enough. Let's just trade Kroq-Gar Mountain back to these guys. 19, not so bad. We could do the defensive alliance. On the other hand, we could see how many factions we can get them to declare war on. It looks like a lot. Nice. And we can get a bunch of money as well. Perfect. And that for something we already traded them earlier. Now all of these war declarations are going to be very good from us. It'll keep them dependent on us, and at the same time it'll keep them fighting the same factions that Thorek is fighting. Then we gotta get him to try to fight a few more of them as well. He's fighting most of those, but not all of them. And he doesn't currently like us giving gifts to Imrik, but he shouldn't hate it as much as us not giving gifts to him, or giving gifts to him, so yeah. They should counteract each other is what I'm getting at. Anyway, let's spend some of these alignments since we have so many. The maximum is 100. We don't want to max those out. Unit upgrades, you. Arc of Sotek, definitely Warpaint of Xhotl for Overwhelm, which is amazing. Then you are also Warpaint of Xhotl for the Magic Bond, Reserves, Power Recharge, and Banish. And then you, I believe, are Tlanshla, rather. Yes. More augments. More melee attack for everybody near the solar engines. Lovely. Alright, you guys are good. Farek, you no longer need to stand here, so you're going to move out. Trespass, we don't care. We'll be betraying / just attacking the Cult of Sigmar later on. Alright, now, everybody here. Well, first of all, one of you needs to kill King Kawataman here. It does not particularly matter which one of you does it, though. Although, on the other hand, wait. Some of you still need to trade units. This is gonna be kind of annoying. You know what? Maybe I'll deal with that next time. Just because I have to figure out, and I have to think about it. I'll think about it on screen by taking a look at the units and figuring out who is gonna go with who. We certainly don't have time for another battle. Let's just see what else we can do in terms of the end admin of the episode. For example, ignoring all the lords because they're not moving, we can still move you two. How close are we to Nakai? Actually should be getting there fairly quickly. And you to Mazdamundi, also getting closer and closer. We have to go all the way up here to the jungles. And the Isthmus of Lustra. Whoa, Slaneshi Corruption at Hexawatl. Oh, I don't like that at all. And at Port Reaver. Oh my, looks like Morathi's doing a good job. Man, all the other lizard factions are not doing so well, are they?
Volkmar.
Let's just see here. Yes, Volkmar, that's you, thank you. Defensive alliance with other lizard factions, no. Knights of Kalador probably eventually, but not right now. Yeah, these guys are all quite weak. Cult of Sotek is by far the strongest, but look at the balance of power. Itza and Ghost of Pahwix are in fact weaker than the Wardens of the Living Pool, which should not be a thing. Interesting. Alrighty, well, we got some money now, so we gotta spend it. Crater of the Walking Dead. We've been ignoring this, but there may be other buildings that are more important, so let's continue ignoring it for a little while. Skink Priest, not available yet, but if we upgrade you for 4.5k, we'll get another Skink Priest capacity. And we'll be able to get our first Oracle, I believe. Man, 687. Damn, these guys are expensive. They're as expensive as Slanar. Pretty crazy. So we probably want to, just in case, get walls here. Before I wasn't gonna, but now that this place got kind of attacked, I'm willing to bet that the rats try this again. At least, or will continue to try it until we burn them out. So let's go walls here, and maybe walls there as well. We'll tear them down eventually anyway. Kasabar, definitely gonna get you those livestock pens. And once they're maxed out, we'll probably replace the meat storage hall with a public order building. Land of the Dead, Numas. Now, we do want this, but the first level of the Skink Foraging Camp isn't going to cost that much anyway. Great Mortis Delta, the same with the Oracle building. Agril Migdal, we're not upgrading you because we're going to be trading you. Tower of Gorgoth, you're the same. Alright, so that means we can get some of the expensive buildings. Namely, well, this one's actually not that expensive. Kingdom of the Beasts. Let's get... I guess we could get our first one of these. Or we could build 2 of these Oracle buildings for 2 more Skink Priests. Which will mean 4 more Skink Priests in 3 turns. Not the worst idea in the world. We gotta build these anyway. Plus, they give additional income in the territories that they're built in, so why not? Looks good to me. And where was the other one? I believe it was in the Desolation of Nagash, was it not? Or in the Black Pyramid, rather. Yes. 4.5k, and we have just a tiny bit of cash remaining, and we will spend it on... I guess you. This place does need to grow, and it's going to take a while. Alright, looks good to me. Now that's basically all of our money, and that's basically all of our moves minus the heroes, which will need to be moved at the end of next turn, or at the end, or start of next episode, rather, once I figure out who's going to go where, and we will then, next time, as I'm calling it here, have Tic-Tac-Toe's full Air Force ready to go, and he's going to move out either towards the Followers of Nagash or to the north towards the Bloody Hands, but I'm still on the fence about that, because we could send him north to bypass this, go after Queek again, get the defeat trade on him as well, and then go back while these guys fight each other. Either way, Kanos Kier and Chameleon can probably stay here, and they can start on this. They might even attack the Cult of Sigmar while the two are fighting each other, and both of them could probably use the Volkmar defeat trade as well, though I'm probably not going to farm it as hard as the Queek defeat trade. Anyway, and with Khemri destroyed, we will move to different battles, so more battles to come and more armies to come, as we now have the Fire Slan, and we will get his army operational shortly. So stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. We'll also take a look at his skills next time as well. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.